Man, I really hope my friends answer their phone tonight, It's not always easy being the positive vibe enthusiast. Yes, I encourage the masses and I'm always on a high vibration and all, but sometimes your girl needs some help. Me and my friends, we blowing it up, making you laugh and stating what's up. We keep it high like our levels and y'all tuning in, so let's keep it 100. Me and my friends, we blowing it up, making you laugh and stating what's up. We keep it high like our levels and y'all tuning in, so let's keep it 100. It's a positive vibe enthusiast, and we coming to you once a week. Yeah, I said it's a positive vibe enthusiast, and we coming to you once a week, and y'all tuning in. Let's get it.
All right, we're back. It's another episode of the Positive Vibe Enthusiast. I am your host, Tashi, and tonight we are coming back with part 2. Woo! I have returning co-host Jay in the Dirty South. What's happening? How are you?
Oh, everything is great. I'm excited to do part 2. So much more has happened since Sunday, Monday, whenever we talked.
Oh
It's
yeah,
uh, it's going to be a great show, guys. Great show.
already knowing. And Cam, thank you so much for coming back. How are you this evening?
I'm good. I'm good. A little more informed, but I'm good. Yeah.
Well, hey, I am happy to have you guys both back. Last episode, part 1, was really good. I'm so excited to get into part 2. And I kind of want to pick up where we left off. And let's talk a little bit more about Princella, her message, and her agenda. I'm not sure who wants to speak first, but I will throw out a question. Do you feel what she is speaking about, is it beneficial to women and relationships?
You go ahead, Ken.
Go ahead, Jay.
Oh, really? Well, my my personal opinion, and because of my past relationships, I would definitely say it's beneficial to women. And what I find so funny about like what she speaks about, and then when I read people's comments or when people comment to her show, how is it that we all experiencing the same thing, and we all in different parts of the country?
Mm.
So I'm really, it like blows my mind that you got women in California, New York, Chicago, we all over the place, and we all in agreement with how men have been treating women. Now I'm not saying that no, it's not any good men out there. Please, I'm not a male basher. I'm not. But I just find it's so crazy that when we talk, everybody's experiencing the same type of treatment.
Mm.
I'm confused by that. And then everybody's like, oh well, women, you're gonna die alone. I'm half the time I'm alone in this relationship, and you in the same room with me. I feel like I'm by myself. So what's the difference?
Yeah, that is.
What's what's the difference? Like it's like, oh, you need to get a cat. Yeah, I probably should get a cat and a dog too because they gonna contribute more to what. And like I'm saying, I'm just speaking from my experience. They're gonna contribute a little bit more than the males that I've been dealing with. And like I said, most of us have experienced the same thing. And I don't know. It's
Yeah, or variations of the same thing. Yeah.
yeah, the dating is trash, and I know we all in agreement with that one. So whatever. But like you can't tell me that. I mean, I don't know. Maybe you one of y'all can tell when the last time y'all had a good date.
That's pretty bad.
Oh,
When the last
Lord.
time y'all had a good date?
Anyway,
It's so sad.
you
Well,
you getting off
I hear, I
subject
hear,
already,
I
Jay?
hear,
What's
I
the
hear
story?
crickets. How? How am I getting off subject? She
Why
said,
you
"What is it
asking me about
beneficial?"
when the last time I went on a date?
No, I said when the
No,
last time y'all anybody
I
been on a
know.
good date? And the
I
thing
don't
is,
know.
it's just like when it comes to like dating, even I'm just saying like the benefits of being in the relationship. It's just like it's nothing there.
So with Princella, like her thing is the male comes to take, the male comes to take and destroy, pretty much. So my question
That's
is,
what it feels like. I've been destroyed. I'm rebuilding right now as we speak.
Ah,
I don't even like.
Lord.
I'm just saying. I'm
Hey,
just
no,
saying.
I'm taking it all in. This is I'm gonna just okay. So if I can let me have 2 minutes of your
Stop it.
time.
Stop it when I'm lying. Stop
Hey,
when I'm lying.
hey,
I
hey,
tried. I tried to give you the mic, Cam. I tried to
it's
give you the
cool.
mic.
Jay, look
I
with that
tried.
guy. Hey, that video I sent y'all earlier today when that guy walked up to her was like, "Hey, you single?"
Oh
Hey,
yeah.
that was yo. So look, let me tell you. I told y'all I wasn't sure. I was on the fence about Miss Princella. I was on the fence about Miss Princella Clark and what she does. After doing a little digging, and I looked at some interviews she did, and I looked at her speaking live just on her own accord. And I must say, I like her. Um,
Okay.
I do. I like her. Now the reason why I'm gonna say I like her is because most people probably don't know this about me, but um, I don't like niggas. I really don't. And and I feel like she is like my partner in crime and cleaning the community and the world of
Mm-hmm.
useless men.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great thing.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was watching that pod on Fresh and Fit, the way she destroyed them clowns, oh, it brought my heart so much joy. I was I was so excited. I
Yeah.
can't I can't lie to y'all. I was so excited because I feel like everybody needs to be that that's the type of energy you need to have for clowns like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I've always had that energy for them, which is why a lot of dudes don't like me
Mm-hmm.
when they get in a room with me. I tend to stay away from people because I was actually talking to my brother um last week. No, actually a couple of days ago because it was his birthday, and I was telling him because he was talking about certain guys that he was hanging around, and I tell him guys who are only driven by sex, guys who don't have any self discipline, guys who lack integrity,
Mm-hmm.
who lack loyalty,
Mm-hmm.
who are only after money, and who are insecure and maybe very egotistical too. Those are probably the most dangerous people in the world. Um,
Mm-hmm.
at least dangerous to be around because you can catch a stray for being around a clown, being associated with a clown. So I try to stay away from them. But um, so in that way, I do like her. Um, her message to me is a bit off brand when she gets into the male only wants this or only wants that. I'm not gonna lie. I do feel like a lot of the stuff she's saying, I can agree with, but I feel like when you put it as an absolute, that's when you lose
Mm-hmm.
because every guy is not like that. And I know she says every guy, and I was like, well, maybe she not saying every guy, but also that conversation that she had with the live today, she talked about how she talked about a couple of guys who played her
Mm-hmm.
where she borrowed or she gave a man $500. He turned around, took another girl out on a date, and then told everybody that she gave him 1,500 to make her look
Mm-hmm.
like a clown. She
Mm-hmm.
talked about how
Mhm.
her ex-husband played her, and then she answered a couple of our questions that we had on the last pod, which is, well, I'm not gonna say she answered them, but you gotta answer because towards the end of the video, she said people are asking her, is she a lesbian?
Mm-hmm.
And she says, I don't call myself a lesbian, but I do deal with women.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, okay, so you don't want to be in a box, but that's where you are. So that kind of, for me, it kind of answers that question. Plus the fact that a lot of the stuff that she was saying was um, coming from what I thought was probably a place of hurt. She kind of confirmed that during that video as well. And
I
so,
agree. I
yeah,
did hear the place of hurt when she was talking. So when she was speaking about how she married, she dealt with and married a quite older man, because I believe she's somewhere in her 30s.
she's
And
37, but she
okay,
said she was
Mm.
33 and he was 55.
yeah. So like she
I thought she was younger than that. She was 33.
She's
I could have sworn.
37.
No, I'm saying when she married that guy, I thought
Oh
she
well,
was in her late
she
20s.
might have said she was younger. Maybe she said she
I think
got
she. I
divorced.
thought she
She
was in
said
her
she was
like.
28 and
Yeah.
she got divorced at 33.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
yeah.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No,
So
no, you're
yeah.
fine. Well, and she always used the word predator. And to me,
Hmm.
and she's like, I'm so mature and I'm intelligent. And I'm gonna tell you this. I consider myself to be a person who is definitely mature, and I don't run around saying I'm intelligent, because that, like how you had an issue with people using the word gentleman. If you got to tell somebody you're intelligent, I'm just gonna leave it there.
Right. It'll speak for
Mm.
itself.
Exactly,
Mhm.
and truthfully, you're
Hmm.
always going to be a little ignorant to something. So, it's anyway. But when she was talking about the word predator and how she married, a man that was 20 years her senior, you were definitely like a man in their 50s that's talking to a woman in her 20s is only talking to a woman in her 20s because they know they can't even step toe to toe to anybody on some real ish in their 40s or 50s. They know that.
Exactly.
It's like whatever is the easiest. So, if you're in your 50s, presumably, and I'm in my 20s or even my 30s, I'm going to think you got it going on. You got your own house. Maybe maybe you I would assume that you're real far in your career or even retired, living the life. You got enough money to maybe pay my rent, my mortgage, like whatever. I can see how it can happen, but I don't know. I guess that's probably why she used the word predator, because when someone's that old talking to young women, to me, that is a bit being a little predator, because I feel like you got more control over a young woman, because as smart and mature as I was during that time period, I still was a little goofy when it comes to men and their two timing and the way they act, because now that I like know the game, like now I can peep game a mile away and I won't be caught slipping.
Mhm.
I won't be caught
Mhm.
slipping. But when you're in your 20s, like little things will slip where like a man will be like, "Hey babe, here's my card. Can you go pick up my dry cleaning and get whatever you want and take yourself out for lunch?" We think that's cute. Meanwhile, you just signed up to be a whole man assistant. And the one time you don't
I,
want to do it no
yeah,
more, then that's a problem. You know? So I
I,
just feel like it's easier to groom young women with that. Whereas a grown woman, like I'm now 30, I'm 37. So if a gentleman asks me, "Hey, here's my debit card, go do this, go do that." No, like why don't you why is your schedule set up? Like what were you doing before I came?
mm-hmm,
You know what I mean? Now it'd be
mm,
totally different now, but I'm also a person like that. I'll see it. Maybe you need some help. You stressed out. You know what? I'm gonna be on that side of town. I'll pick up your dry cleaning. I'll do that. No, don't worry about it. But I just noticed like when they like men can try to come in and try to control you and then get you to take on their task, and then some of your tasks aren't getting handled because now you're doing all of their tasks. So I don't know if I think women are, and we have a nurturing, that's in our nature, whether you have kids or not. It's in our nature to want to like make things easier for everyone else.
I
And I
was
think
just
and I
about to
think
say
that,
that, make it easier.
yeah, we make it
Mhm.
easy. Like that's just in our nature, is we can't turn it off. And I think that some men know that and they prey on that, and especially an older man with a younger woman.
They take advantage of it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And we won't know that we're having a problem with it until we're too far into it. But as you get
Yeah, by the
older,
time you're tired and exhausted, and then you like, wait
yeah,
a minute now,
yeah, it's
I
like
don't
wait
want
a,
to do this no more. And then when
yep,
express that to them, now they start throwing temper tantrums like,
yep,
well, you been doing it. It wasn't the problem went out.
Yep.
What?
And you don't
You
even
doing
realize
all
it.
that? Yeah, and it's like, what are you, 7?
Yep.
Stop it.
I
Mm-hmm.
think
Please leave me
I
alone.
think the term predator, I think that kind of takes away her part in that was played in the entire situation though. So I would say if you're 55 and you're dating a 20-year-old, you're probably a creep.
Creep
Like I
is the
would say
word.
creep. Yeah, I would say creep. Like predator, I kind of feel like when you were 28 and you saw this 55-year-old man, you knew how much older he was than you, and you thought, well, all the men my age are immature, they still run in the streets. I'm going to date this older man because he's probably in a better position. He probably got all that junk out of his system. So I'm going to do that. So I feel like she made a conscious decision to deal with somebody that age, and then she found out that it doesn't matter how old a clown is. A clown is a clown.
And she
And
says
that's
that. She
and
like.
it's so
Mm-hmm.
that's always been my position from the jump is you can't label every man that, but a clown is a clown. And they just become older clowns. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so I've
And
always felt that.
they're all over the earth. Can we please get rid of
Oh
them?
no, they are.
Please.
But look, but you got to think about it too. And this is another thing that I feel like now we can probably say it's more prominent in our generation, but you have an older generation of men who are still doing clown stuff, but it's because now it's like it's cameras everywhere. It's like how they say sunlight is the best disinfectant. So everything now is out in the open. So all of the wild stuff people was doing back in the day, they can't do it anymore. So I kind of feel like a man that's like 55 that was raised by older men who were able to have a family on one side of town and another family on the other side of town, and they not know about each other. I feel like they missing out on that because they don't get to do that because they have to adjust to the way the world is now. If you couple that with back when we were kids, instead of getting a trophy for winning, everybody started getting trophies for participating. So now you got people who didn't win anything getting trophies, and they grow up like that. And then their mom is not with the dad and she overcompensates, and I'm the
Yeah.
daddy on Father's Day, and you do all of that. And then you grow up with these men who have been coddled by their mom so much that this is what they expect. They want you to, when you move in, rub my feet, wash my clothes. But they want you to do all of that stuff. Like I knew a guy who was at the time, I might have been 33, 30. He was probably like 29, 30. And he was telling me how he didn't even know how to wash his own clothes. I'm like, how do you not know how to wash your clothes at 30 years old? But because he was so used to his parental unit taking care of him, and I just kind of feel like that's what y'all battling with. Y'all battling with a bunch of mama's boys who they got treated that way by their mom, but then society gave everybody a trophy. When she said when she said on that interview, when she told them that most men should die virgins, I totally agree. I
Damn.
totally agree. Because if this society was not built the way it's built, if it wasn't set up the way it was set up, just like every other animal in the world, the women are going to deal with the men who have the best possibility for their offspring to be the strongest to go to the next level or go to the next generation. Every man would not be an option. And when you look at them guys on that podcast, they made themselves an option because they figured out how to cheat in the matrix or in this system. They
And
figured out how to get the thing that they told everybody we should value, whatever that is. whatever, whether it's the clout, the money, whatever it is that people feel like we should value, that's what they hold on to. And that's why they was fighting her so much. And I loved every minute of her tearing them down. I'm not gonna lie. It was very enjoyable.
It was hard to watch. It was
It
hard.
was beautiful. It was beautiful.
It was hard to watch for me because, as far as the other, not between Princella and her interaction with those two clowns, it was
Hmm.
hard for me, especially the young lady that was in the blue, and she's
Oh, they was
like,
Mm.
lost.
like
They were lost.
it was hard to listen to
And they were
her.
contradicting themselves because they they knew, and that's what I'm saying. Like, okay, if I'm honest with you, the way I feel is the reason why I take issue with what she says is I feel like I agree with women needing to know all you need is you. I agree with that. What I don't agree with is every man is coming in there to destroy and tear everything down and rip you apart. What I will say is know that all you need is you. Rely on you needing you. But if you want something, then find somebody else that wants the same thing and then y'all can work together. And I would be cool with that if she said it like that. But that's the only issue that I'm having because I do feel like we are taught as kids these Disney fantasies. And
Mhm.
I think that that's one of the biggest setups in the world is to think that, you're supposed to live out this Disney fantasy. I don't think life really happens like that.
It doesn't. It doesn't.
I just like I was telling Jay before the show, I do think
Hmm.
what Princella is doing is God's work because if there's a lot of people, because you can send it to anybody, but let's just talk about women specifically. But women really can find themselves in abusive, scary situations where they either feel like they can't leave or they're afraid to leave. Like women can really get in some dark places, and I think
Exactly.
that Princella preaching her gospel
Hmm.
of women empowerment, take care of yourselves. You don't need these men. Even
Right.
given what she shared about her example, that every time she got in a relationship, she found herself, a little further back than where she was. Like they were
Exactly.
coming to
Exactly.
take from her.
But see, I feel like that myself, and I'm a guy.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying?
and
So
I
so
agree.
this
I,
is
I do think
this
there
is
are women.
why I don't. That's why I don't disagree with everything she's saying because, but I feel like let's not make it about men and women. Let's just make it about the individuals because I feel like everybody can have that same testimony. Like I'll tell you in a heartbeat. Like I rejected sex from more women than probably three times the amount of women I ever had sex with. Because I don't have a large number, but I definitely turned down way more women than I ever tried to have sex with. And the reason is because I don't need that. I don't need you. I don't need you to validate me. I don't need you to know that I'm a man. And half the time when I do it, it'll be like, nah, I'm not feeling you that way, then it'll be, oh, you must be gay. So now you want to try to tear me down.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't have
true.
to be
Yeah.
gay. I don't have to be gay because your ego is bruised, woman. I don't have to be gay because of that, because I bruised your ego. You know what I'm saying? And so in that way, that's why I like what she's saying, because I feel like I feel the same way on this side, but at the same time, I'm not telling men, yo, you don't need a woman. We don't need nothing. But if you want one, go and have one.
Yeah.
Just make sure you're making better decisions. Because all I heard from her was you made calculations when you were younger and they weren't the right calculations
Yep.
for whatever reason. You made a calculation to date a guy or mess around with a guy that you worked with, which means he knew people that was in your circle. And most guys talk about what they do behind closed doors or in the sheets. Most guys like to talk for whatever reason, whether they pissing on a tree to try to keep other people from, or they it's just this stupid machismo macho thing that dudes do that I never understand. And I kind of feel like she got herself in one of those positions, but that is probably something you should have thought about when you were in the field that you were in. Because I think she said she sell cars.
Yeah,
So
she was a car
you
sales. Yeah.
Yeah, she's a
a
car salesman.
that's like it's a rough field to be in as a woman. And then you get into that type of relationship with one of these guys, yeah, they're gonna talk about it. Most of
Yeah.
them are clowns. That's what they do, especially when you're not in a relationship. That's when they're gonna talk about it more.
Yeah. I still think what she does is good, but I do agree better like what you said as far as let's talk about the individual. Like no one should everybody pay attention to the red flags of the
Exactly.
succubuses. You know, pay
Mm-hmm.
attention. Pay attention. You know, if you after you leave dealing with anybody and you feel like you have less energy than you had when you were with them, that's your body telling you that person ain't for you. Because it's been people that I can be around all day long. I can talk all day long and be around all day long, and I don't feel any lack of energy. But
Mm-hmm.
it's in some people that I
Mm-hmm.
talk to, and I am drained. I
Right.
could have replied back to your text 2 times, and I need a damn nap because like it just drains me. So
We all experienced that one.
yeah, like just
Yeah.
pay attention to that. So I agree. Like Princella, her message is great, but I can't agree that I don't believe I can't go on through life and believe that all these males or men are full of crap. I don't want to
It's
live in
a
a
lot
place.
of them though. It's a
It's
lot
a
of
lot
them.
of. That's what I'm
Trust
about to
me.
say. It's a lot of them. It's like
That's why I
it's,
won't argue with her. But and I can go ahead, Jay, because I'm about to go on the
I'm
tangent.
just saying, like
Go ahead.
it just feels like it's damn near impossible to not run into one. It's like
Like I said,
I've
I don't
been.
want to believe that, but I am also have to be 100% honest with myself. I have not had a serious boyfriend since 2013, and I haven't had any headaches. I mean, I've had some situationships that got me a little upset, but I was able to walk away with unscathed.
See
But
what I'm saying?
but I have to say this though, but I find it interesting because maybe our low key was raised by Princella because when she said that men come in and they and every time they come in they f it up,
Mm,
and my mom, like, she never talked bad. I was raised by a single mother, but she never talked bad about my dad. She just wouldn't say anything. Like she just wouldn't say
mm-hmm,
nothing bad, nothing positive, but nothing bad either.
mm,
You know, it's just nothing.
mm-hmm.
So but she always just tell me as a little kid, like, just make sure, you always have your own. You always have your own.
Your
Make sure.
own stuff.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I was always taught that.
Yep.
Me too.
But she also says, just be very careful, like moving in or anything. So like, I've never lived with a man. I may
Mm-hmm.
have my things over their
You ain't
house and
missing
stay.
nothing. Continue. Sorry.
I have heard that, but I had men break up with me because I wouldn't move
I,
in with them.
I've I've been married before, so I lived with my ex-wife.
So my
Um,
question is, do you prefer living alone or do you prefer living
I
with your
I
mate?
I I've done a marriage. I've done a 7-year relationship where we did a long distance for like 2 years, and then we moved in and we stayed together for like three and a half. So I don't have a problem with it. Um, I do feel like there's probably a learning curve. I do feel like you need to like at least spend a week or two at somebody's house to kind of get the vibes for what's going on with them. Cause certain things people do might not mesh with how you grew up, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and don't get too far outside of your own culture because then it can get all out of whack.
Mm-hmm.
Um, as far as what's going on. But for me, I as long as there's enough space in the place, because I do like to have my alone time where I get back to myself. I gotta recharge my battery so that I'm still the same person you know that you met. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? Because I know I like to have my own little quirky things that I do. And if I don't have time to do that without feeling like you watching me or somebody judging me for, I like watching Animal Planet. I like watching lions and leopards. I really like leopards and cheetahs. Those are my two favorite things to watch. So like if I don't have time to do stuff like that and watch those type of things or watch like Naked and Afraid or something like that, then I kind of feel like I'm not doing the things that I like to do.
Mm-hmm.
So as long as there's space to do stuff like that, then I'm fine. But said I do feel like you should have your own stuff. So if you do live with somebody, both y'all names should be on the lease. I just feel like that because I've seen situations where people in my family, men, get into it, and because their name is not on the lease, their stuff is in the front yard, and it's a bad situation. And I had to tell like people that are close to me, get your own stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I was renting a house when I was living like in closer to South Bend, Indiana. I had a house and I was dating a girl in Michigan, and I probably went to my house like once every 2 weeks, but I still had my own house.
Yeah.
And and she went on a girls trip where she only posted one picture. It's for somebody who goes out and posts like 10 pictures,
Oh, so
20
you
pictures.
felt you yeah
Yeah,
you
she
know
went
what's
on a
up.
girls trip, posted one picture, and long story short, my cousin knew she was talking to somebody else. So I was like, oh, so that's what happened. And I drove her to the airport, and I thought that was
Oh.
crazy. So when I
Mhm.
found out, it was like, yeah, we done. And so then it was a situation where she's like, well, I got your stuff on the porch, or I got your stuff. When you gonna come get it? And I was like, I'll be out there tomorrow. She said, okay, it'll be on the porch. I said, just throw it away. Like, you're not about to do that to me. So I just kind of feel like have your own stuff. And maybe whatever you got over that person's house, just make sure you got the same stuff at your house.
Yep.
Just in
Yeah.
case you got to throw it away. Cause I'm not going to your house to get nothing because you trying to make the house presentable for somebody you cheated on me with. Like I'm cool. So
Yeah.
but yeah.
That's yeah. You know, it's trash women and trash men. You know.
Oh
Definitely.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know, we were talking about last week that we were kind of sick about talking about relationships, and like over the conversation of hearing about relationships, and I don't want to add to that conversation, but I think that Priscilla makes us realize that if somebody not treating you right, just focus on yourself and move on. That's my takeaway, at least.
Yeah, make yourself happy. Like I
Yeah.
said before, I think I ended, the episode last week with put yourself first.
Yeah, you said put a smile on
And
your own damn face.
yeah, because it's oftentimes we jump in relationships and we lose ourselves.
Yeah.
And we're so busy pleasing that other person, trying to make sure they good and they got everything they want, and you find yourself exhausted, like we said earlier in the conversation. It's like
Hmm.
you do all that and got all type of health issues.
Hmm.
And I think
Hmm.
me and you talked about this yesterday, Cam, because you sent me the that guy saying about being emotional intelligent,
Uh-huh.
and it's just like that is something that a lot of people lack.
A lot of
Yes,
people.
no, no, it's staggering. It's absolutely
Yes,
staggering the amount of people who do not have emotional intelligence. And once I
yes,
understood that, I was able to navigate people a lot better. I
You you
still,
know,
yes,
you know what he said, and I was telling Jay, the emotional intelligence is definitely a thing. But he said three things. He said emotional intelligence, emotional accountability, and emotional restraint. And that last one is the one that I feel like people, because people will know where they are lacking in their emotional intelligence. Like just, oh, my toxic trait, like that's a thing now. My toxic trait is I do this, this, and this. But what they don't do is they don't restrain themselves when they get tested. And I
hmm,
find that that's the biggest issue with a lot of people
hmm.
is this inability to control yourself. And I just find that um I'm trying to think of what Jay, we had a conversation where I was trying to tell you, oh, I was watching one of these survivor shows on TV. where they dropped 13 people off on an island, and you gotta find your own water, food, whatever like that. Because I'm thinking about going on one of these shows, like Naked and Afraid or The Island with Bear Grylls. So, what was happening was it was a group of 13 men, and a couple men had left, and then you got down to a couple of guys where one guy was kind of like he was pitying himself almost, and the guy who was like super alpha was going crazy on him, and he kind of like broke down, and everybody was like, well, you are breaking him down. We know he's kind of like the weakling or whatever. And I just saw it differently because I saw the aggressive man as being aggressive all the time, which means that even when you have a chance to be soft or to you know be comforting to somebody, you don't know how to do it.
Yep, that's what it is.
So you just as weak as him, it just looks different
Yep.
because you can't cut off your assholeness.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And so I was just like, that's what I was thinking. And I just kind of feel like that's the inability to regulate yourself.
And think about this. Imagine, so like we're just having a word for it, and like you said, the emotional restraint. Unfortunately, men like that that's yelling and getting, and that's just the men. I've seen people like this. They get all hype up and yell. They raising kids.
Exactly.
And you have to have patience
with kids.
Because they're literally like as I got a little older, I started thinking like, man, we came to this world with it was a blank cassette. Legit blank. Don't know shit. So how we act, how we talk, how we interact, it was all we're mimicking what we saw. And that angry alpha dude, he probably grew up, whether it's the mom or the dad, that was acting just like that. And it's encoded, it's encoded in the programming. So he would have to make a conscious decision. Maybe after going home one day and watching the episode, he might look at that and be horrified. Because sometimes you just need to look at yourself like, I can't believe I did this to that person. Like,
right. Like, and you really threaded this guy for no reason.
And like me and Jane had conversations about this because I wasn't the nicest kid growing up. I really was not. And I'm blessed enough that I've been able to apologize for some of my actions. I'm sure it's people that still dislike me or whatever. But if anybody's listening, just know that I apologize. And I really, truly do. Because I don't want I don't want to be a reason why you're acting a certain way going on in life. That mean old Tashi did X, Y, and Z. Bullshit. I was trash then. I can admit that,
Right. And it was probably stemming from something you was going through.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's the thing. That's the thing. Like, I try to tell people all the time. I think people should go to therapy, which is why I had an issue with that platform we were talking about on the last podcast. Because I just kind of feel like you just agitate and aggravate situations, and then you don't do anything about it. You just let people go home with this fresh foolishness on their minds.
Yeah.
Because none of them are certified therapists. None of them are.
I don't know what they are, but it's a lot
they
of
not. They all just
making money.
I don't know, Instagram famous or whatever, or what are they social media influencers or whatever.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, I'm not against therapy. I'm not against therapy at all. But I'm
not against it, but I'm just saying none of them are therapists for them to be giving advice.
No, but what I'm saying is I will also take my therapist's advice with a grain of salt too, to some degree, because I also feel like you have to understand that there are people too going through ish too. Maybe because I've hung around too many people in high professional fields like being a doctor, pilots, all of that. And then when I realized that they turn up and be effed up just like the rest of us, I feel a little uncomfortable going, only because I know that they're just like us too. So I do think you need to go and talk to a third party. I think it's great to do so. And if they, but I also feel like do some work on your own if you can. Like
Yeah.
do both, in my
Well,
opinion.
the thing why I said therapist is because, like I said, if the therapist is worth their salt, like when we closed out the last pod, what I said was, I'm not saying this so you can hear me.
Yeah,
I'm
'cause you can
saying
hear
it so you can
yourself.
hear yourself.
Hmm.
So I feel like, because I look, when my therapist, when I first met her, I told her flat out, I feel like therapists are intellectual prostitutes. That's my position. And what I mean by that is a prostitute is, I give you some money, we have a sexual encounter. It's how it's supposed to work. But I know sometimes guys pay prostitutes just to talk, which is
Yeah.
makes them a
Uh-huh.
therapist at that point.
Hmm.
So I've never used prostitute services, but I understand what's going on here. I don't have time to run around building up a relationship because, like, when people say you're gonna pay for it, either way you're gonna pay for it. So
Hmm.
if you just upfront, you get the prostitute, you go do what you do, okay, fine. She not gonna talk about it. It's her daily job. That's how she make her money. Ain't nothing to talk about. She been there, done that, right? So with a therapist, the way I feel is a therapist is somebody who I can tell my secrets to, like one of my best friends, but they're not going to repeat it to everybody around me because I paid them to keep it confidential. So I could say whatever I want to say. And sometimes when you talking, you get the answers that you need, or you just get it off your chest and out your head. And that's how I look at a therapist. So it's still, they're talking, but they're talking so I can, so I need to hear what I need to hear. And that's why I say it like that. Like I feel like people, it's worth investing in, because there have been times where I confided in people, and what I told them in confidence is being spread around. I'm hearing it from other sources. And I know I haven't said it to anybody else, but I'm hearing it from other sources. So I find more value in telling those secrets to a therapist and working it out with them than to confide in somebody who I give it to for free. And because it's free, they feel like it's
Everybody's business.
no value, and I
Yeah.
could just give it to everybody.
Yeah.
You know
When
what
I
I'm
didn't
saying?
think about it that way, because and I've never been to a therapist, so I can't speak on that. I was thinking
Hmm.
that a therapist is going to give you guidance on what to do. But if they're just listening and asking leading questions for you to be able to
Hmm.
open up more, then I do understand that. I've never
Yeah.
been to one, so I don't know. Maybe I'll go to one just for shits and giggles just to see.
I mean, I think that's why I say I think it's worth, to me, it's worth doing at least once. Especially if you get one that you feel like you can relate to. I think it's worth it because like everybody that I've told to, if they ask me, yeah, I think you should try it, and they go and do it, yeah, I feel better afterwards. Find value in that. And like I said, the value that I find is I get to say the stuff that's okay. I'll put it to you this way. Um, I can't remember the author. I can't remember, but I told Jay about this, and it's a lady author, but she has this saying where she says the way you know if you have a true friend is if when you have a conversation with them, your thoughts do not have to be weighed and your words don't have to be measured.
Mm-hmm.
And there's only a few people like that you find in life where you can talk to them like that, where it's just like, I'm just going to say it. And I know that you're not going to look at me different on the other end of this.
Mm-hmm.
There's no
And
judgment.
outside of, I got one person in my life that I can do that with. And outside of her, is a therapist. And
Yeah.
that's really it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And I find value in being able to just like, because sometimes we have these thoughts that like, man, I probably shouldn't even be feeling this way. some of the thoughts that we be having, I probably shouldn't even be feeling. I shouldn't be feeling this way, but I can say it to her or to a therapist. Anybody else, I know it's gonna be some judgment behind it. It's gonna be, I don't understand why you feel that way, and sometimes you don't need that. You just need to get the thought out and then work backwards of why you feeling that way.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. No, I agree. I think that everyone should. How are we going to get through this realm that we're in? Hey, whatever works.
Whatever works.
Whatever works.
You know what? For me, I've never had great. I've seen what, one, two, three, maybe three different therapists,
Hmm.
and I didn't have like the best experiences with therapists. Um,
Hmm.
one particular one, oh God, I couldn't stand that lady because it felt more like, if she felt more like a therapist who just listened like for gossip reasons or something. Because
Mm,
like even in the session, I didn't know these people, but she would tell me like other um people that she was giving therapy to, like their different situations.
mm-hmm.
And I mean, maybe she was trying to like give me a reference,
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
but at the same time, it never felt like we were actually working through my issues. And it's like she made me feel more like it felt like she was putting me down more than she was lifting me up and working me through the situation.
Mm.
And like after about the third situation, I was like, yeah, this ain't gonna work because I'm ready to meet you in the parking lot. Cause it didn't help. It just didn't help. I,
You
I was
can't be
so
throwing the hats up on the therapist.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Like, okay, I
Mm,
won't. I won't throw. Maybe will a notebook work since they have one? Like, can I throw a
no,
notebook?
you
Yeah,
can't
I'm
be
just
beating up
saying.
the
But
therapist.
I'm just
You
saying it
supposed
was
you
just
supposed
like
to ask her why do I feel like beating you up right now, and she gonna talk you through it.
she's not gonna talk me through it. Like she probably gonna be like, she gonna stop the clock and we gonna go outside and throw hands. Like that's what's gonna happen.
Now she gonna
Nah,
press.
You
She gonna
know,
press
but
that little button on the front
on the
desk.
real, that's gonna be that the cops, security guards gonna be
Yep.
coming in the
She
room
gonna
and
press that little button on the front desk.
or she gonna put me in one of the institutions and try to say I'm crazy. I don't know.
mm.
But
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. But like I said, I didn't have the best experiences. But
Mm.
it was one particular one that I did like her, but even still, it just didn't feel like
It
I
wasn't for
was
you.
getting what I needed. Yeah, I didn't get what I needed at the therapist that I need. And even like one particular therapist, I would tell her a situation that was going on in my relationship. And I thought therapists are never supposed to tell you to leave.
I don't know
Leave
why
But
what?
they wouldn't. I mean, if they feel like you should leave, I think it's
Leave
their
what?
duty. It's their duty to
she
say
told me
that.
to leave the relationship.
Yeah, if it's harmful, yeah, they gonna tell you to leave.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. But
If
yeah,
if
she
if if if,
Oh, so
if
so what?
it's
Was you
I
salty?
was leaving. I was leaving anyway. Don't get me wrong. I was leaving
right,
anyway.
Oh, but you
But
wanted to
no,
hear
I
if
mean,
somebody
they
tell
feel
you to
like you in
stay.
a
huh?
Did you want to hear her tell you to stay?
Hell no. I was actually glad she said it because she confirmed everything that I was thinking.
Mm-hmm.
But it was just like I didn't know that you know a therapist would tell you that. But I had already
mm,
had something in the works to kind of like leave the situation that I was in. But it was still just like, wow, I didn't know.
Yeah, it's their
I didn't
duty.
know.
It's
if
their
it
duty
if
to.
it's go
Yeah,
ahead.
go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say if it's a toxic, that's why they ask you at the beginning of the session, like, do you feel like you harming yourself? Is the person you with
It,
harming you? They ask
yeah,
you all that stuff because soon as you
they
tell
do.
them, yeah, they put their hands on me or something crazy like that, they gonna be, oh yeah, yeah, let me call the police real quick. You
Yeah,
know, they gonna definitely go ahead and nip that in the bud.
yeah.
Okay. Well,
Well,
well, like I said, I don't have any situations now where I need to see a therapist, but I'm not opposed to anybody like not going to see one. So like,
I mean, I've been
hey,
blessed enough to have good friends and family, and I'm pretty level headed for the most part. I mean, I do,
Hmm.
like I was talking to you guys before this, like I'm managing, just staying calm, just staying calm as
Hmm.
best I can. But I would just go just so I can better understand what they do, because I can't really comment on something for real if I've never even experienced it. So
Well, you know, one of the other things that I would say about it for me, I mean, because like I've always been a great self regulator. Like,
Mm-hmm.
so it was my reason for wanting to go to a therapist was to understand the things about myself that, like, how would I put it? I'm gonna give y'all an example, but so I don't know if you ever heard of like hypervigilant, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yes.
so I have a hypervigilance, and um it's kind of crazy dealing with hypervigilance when you are somebody who, like, I really don't care about people's opinions about me, but I always go back and double check everything that I do. Double, triple, quadruple check. Like, I'll probably end up being late to work, not because I got up late, but because I came back in the house to make sure I locked the door 5 times. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like something crazy like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so what I had to learn was, with me, with this hypervigilance, is that I was trying to um make sure, well, no, let me explain it this way. I asked a lot of questions, and and me and Jay worked together before, and the time that we worked together, I stayed in trouble with management. And the reason why I stayed in trouble with management is because I always ask questions. And when you're dealing with certain people who have ego problems, or they power tripping, you constantly asking questions feels like you're trying to challenge them.
Mm-hmm.
And that turned into like bad blood. It wasn't that I was trying to challenge them all the time. I was either trying to get clarity so I knew what I was doing, because I don't like talking to management. So I need to know exactly what you want me to do so I can stay out of your way, is really how I was coming at the situation. And they always took that as I was challenging them. And so I stayed in trouble. And that was because of the hypervigilance, because of, the way I grew up. Um, so yeah, so I just kind of feel like I didn't have a term for it, because really before I went to therapy, I used to tell people I'm a very thorough guy. Like, I'm very thorough with everything that I do, and that's how I described it, because I thought I was just being thorough. No, I'm gonna act. I'm gonna double check. I'm gonna come back and ask you again. So you really want me to do it this way? And then when she told me what I was doing, it was like, oh, okay. No wonder why when I'm talking, because it's usually with people, like when I don't have a problem being under somebody as an employee, but they take it that way because I'm asking so many questions. Or they look at me crazy like, why is he so why is he asking all these questions? And I didn't know what it was until I got to therapy,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And so that's something that I try to work on. But that's what I'm saying. Like, for me, that's why I went. I thought it was valuable to learn that.
No, it is. It is, and also just like I've been in management for a while, and when I train people, I do have some people that ask a lot of questions, and I don't mind it, but I know why they ask a lot of questions because I see the foolery. So with most positions, you have a manager tell you do A, B, and C, and
Mm-hmm.
then you do A, B, and C, and it's like, no, I told you to do C and D, and it's like, well, okay, well, why didn't we do this, or you said to do that, and this. I think that not your scenario. I see what you're saying, like check in, being hyper vigilant on that. But I also feel like in like the management world with employees and all that, I
Mm-hmm.
feel like managers sometimes they 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 try to train people to do the job like the easiest or like the quickest way to like learn and all that. But I also feel like they it's on the go. It's always changing. Like it's not black and white, and it's
Mm-hmm.
really hard when people are black and white.
Right.
I feel like you might be a person that's like black and white.
No, I
So
am. I am. Yeah.
yeah. So and I just think like what management is like, it's not black and white. It's gray, it's blue, it's pink, it's all of that. And it's just like the people that are black and white get penalized or picked on and all that.
For clarifying. Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Mhm.
And
Mm-hmm.
see
Mhm.
like And I have that issue because I'm a black and white person, but I'm also equally a gray area person too.
Mhm.
But it's hard to, like, when you have both sets of mind, that's where you become like, it's easier for you just to do your own thing, like work with yourself, be by yourself, because
Mhm.
you understand, okay, I gotta be black and white on this one. Oh, I could be a little lenient here, because everyone don't work that way. It's like, we're gonna do it this way, and it's like that. But it is, but it's like, to me, like a black and white person, they're it's hard for them to really they have to do their own thing. I think black and white people should do their own thing. It's going to be a difficult after a while to, kind of work under somebody, especially if it's a situation where it's a little leniency and it's like going left and right. I feel like that can really
Mhm.
just really give people a headache. So anyway, when I train people, because I know my brain is on both sides, I tell people straight up, if you have to ask me 10 times and you need to ask an 11th, ask an 11th time. You are never bothering me. It's no big deal, because I understand that, because a lot of stuff don't make sense. Like, it just don't make
Mhm.
sense why they do things. But that's getting completely off the subject, and I'm about to make a left turn. What do you guys think about these aliens?
Did y'all see the news today?
What
Y'all
happened?
didn't see
Well,
the
I didn't
news.
see it.
I
Did you see
I
it,
tried
Tasha?
to I tried to send an article to y'all in a group text, but there is there's a picture taken by a telescope, or it was one of those telescopes like the big ones. They took a picture of the galaxy. If y'all
Hmm.
type it in, just type in it looks like it's a picture, and in the picture you see the stars lighting up. There's a question mark in the middle of the sky in the galaxy.
What?
It just type it in. Type in question mark from the telescope right now in y'all phone. You'll see it. It's crazy, or in y'all
Question
computer or
mark.
whatever.
Oh
Like
my gosh.
it's a question mark just in the middle of the sky. I was like, and I think I just heard it on the news today, like on my way home. I felt like, real quick. But yeah.
I think these aliens been here for centuries. I don't think this is something new, but I do wonder, why is the
Oh, I
government
do see the
releasing?
question mark. Oh my God, that's different. Okay.
It's crazy. Unless one of my favorite Batman characters is the Riddler. I'm probably gonna do the Riddler one day. Unless the Riddler is out in space doing stuff like this.
Mm.
Uh, would you say, Tasha?
I'm sorry, Tasha. What was you about to say? That question mark really threw me off.
Well,
Oh
it
my.
is a question. Like, why now? Why release information that dang, that is a question mark. Why do we release release this?
Right? You see how you just closed your brain? You're like, wait a minute, that is.
That's a whole question mark. Yeah.
Uh,
I, I, mm.
the question is,
You know what this makes me want to do? It makes me want
What?
to deep dive into who created punctuation marks, and how did the question mark come to be? Because I have questions about that now. Like, I want to know the origins of the question
she
mark.
has questions about the question mark.
I do. I do. But what do y'all think? Like, why do y'all think the government released this information now?
That there are aliens.
Yes.
Um, to be honest, I guess the invasion is coming and they gotta let us know sometime. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No, honestly, I feel like, I heard somebody say, I'm not saying I believe this, but I do feel like this is a good explanation for a lot of this foolishness. Okay, so I listen to like the sports radio, so I'm listening to ESPN 1000, and they were talking about when the government released the alien situation. So this one guy calls in and he says, he says, you know, everything is like a body. He said, you got a toe, but a toe is a toe. It's its own mechanism on your body. It's a toe, but it's connected to the body. So when your toe is out of whack, it affects the entire body. It affects how you walk. Your
Mm-hmm.
attitude is off. You didn't stub your toe, all type of stuff, right? So he was explaining that. So he said, so if the earth is like a toe, what if the aliens who are regulating the universe see what we doing down here on Earth? they
Mm.
probably ready to wipe us out because we messing up something in the universe. And I was like,
Mm.
I'm not mad
That
at that
makes sense. That
theory.
might make
I'm not
sense.
mad at that theory because we definitely tearing up the earth. And this leads back to, I gotta go back to what we talked about earlier because it's gonna lead into this. And I think I've had this conversation with Jay before. When Purcella or Princella, when she said most men would die virgins, but it's because the matrix that we live in that people have the opportunity to get into relationships, which is crazy because them guys were arguing the opposite way. Like, because of this matrix is the reason why clowns like y'all get a chance, to be
Mm-hmm.
honest.
Mm-hmm.
That's just my opinion. So fast forward to what we were just talking about now. Um, Scientifically or just naturally, if we didn't live in a society with grocery stores and homes and electricity and heating, and we lived outside, most of the people on the earth would be dead.
Yeah.
Most of them would be dead
Yeah.
because you're not gonna survive with diabetes. You're not gonna survive being 400 pounds. You're not gonna survive not being educated on how to grow food,
Mm-hmm.
how to hunt. You're not gonna survive being frail. It's a lot of diseases that would just naturally take you out if we were all living in the forest. Nobody even has to kill half these people. They would just die. But when you say that, you sound crazy. So my thing is, because we have all of these people here and they're contributing to destroying the earth, I'm not saying it's not enough space for the people because I feel like it is plenty of space for a lot of people here, but it's a lot of people that's not trying to help. They're damaging. You're not even being neutral in what you're doing. You're tearing up the earth. And if that's the case, that theory don't sound too crazy to me.
Yeah.
It
No,
don't.
that's actually a good theory because that is true. Like if even the smallest part of your body not right, it does affect everything.
Throw everything off.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And if the earth get too hot, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's interesting, especially like what happened in Hawaii. I've been on
Oh
TikTok.
yeah, that's wild.
Yeah, I've been like on TikTok. I like to hear from the locals on the ground, like
Hmm.
what's going on.
It looked like a bomb went off.
It does, and a lot of the locals
Yeah.
are they don't believe this was a natural thing that like a freak natural thing that occurred. They're not buying that.
It looked like a bomb went off.
But
It
they were
looked
saying
like
something
pictures
like I
from
guess the
Hiroshima.
trees. They were saying something about like I guess because like didn't like maintain the trees or whatever. I guess it knocked over to like the electricity lines or whatever, and that's how the fire started.
Oh,
But
you mean
what
like it was
throws
a
me
bunch of
off?
leaves on the forest floor or
Yeah,
something?
I guess like
Hmm.
kind of like what happened at your house. You remember when you was telling me about how the tree fell over and it was like
Right. The power
it
lines.
was something, yeah, the power lines. So it was something like that happened, and I guess it got so far out of control they wasn't able to control it, and that's the reason why like that whole it looks like an
Hmm.
explosion like you said, and I'm just like I don't know if I'm buying what you're selling because it just seems like if y'all would have just paid attention to the tree, like nobody thought about that.
I'm just not buying it because of the climate. Because I've never been to Hawaii, but
Hmm.
isn't it kind of humid and damp and wet? You know, like
No,
what I'm looking at looks like a very dry, drought driven place that was affected by a fire. I just kind of feel like, yeah, I'm not saying that a fire can't happen in a place like that, but for it to
Hmm.
sweep like that to me is kind of weird when there's so much moisture around. Because when these wildfires happen, it's because it's too damn dry, and a spark is gonna can really light up something because it's too dry. So that was something that's a little strange to me. I don't know.
No, I mean yeah, uh,
It's sad. It's very sad. And they were also saying that one of the locals were saying that they're asking people to, to leave the area, but some people aren't leaving the area because they don't really have any place to go. They don't have any means. We're just going to just stay here because this is what we know, you know?
Okay.
And they're refusing aid. Like if you decide to stay, they will not give you any aid. But if
I
you,
That's
mean,
crazy. If you don't
what
have
mm,
nowhere to go,
yeah,
I mean,
what's
provide me somewhere to go, and then we can have this conversation.
I mean, the aid is only $700, so
yeah, and it's yeah,
Even wild.
they
I,
do.
I, $700. Y'all gave Ukraine like $1 billion. Like,
I'm just about to say that
And
they were saying
soldiers.
that
No, no,
because
not soldiers. They gave them weapons though.
you said what?
They gave them weapons. I'm gonna say they gave them
Yeah,
soldiers, but
well,
they
they got
didn't. They gave them
they
weapons.
didn't have to give them. I mean, that didn't affect no money because that's all we do is make weapons.
Yeah, that's true.
This military industrial complex, half our budget goes to military. Like, so,
Yeah, yeah, and I'm not. And to me, I don't want them to cut it because I feel like the United States got too much beef out there. So we got to stay, as you say, hyper vigilant because we've been talking too much shit. So
I mean,
I'm just saying.
that's what happened when you were bullied. Now you got a target on your back. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you've been
see,
bullying and robbing people for years.
learn to be quiet,
You know?
stay out of trouble. See now,
Yeah.
See, see, I want to get on this subject because I will tell any and everybody. Like, I have a, I have a hard. I don't know. It's a very complex relationship with me in the United States and me in the NFL. And it's the same type of situation, but you know, you have a hard time loving this place sometimes, and that's
sounds toxic, doesn't it?
hmm?
I said it sounds like a toxic relationship.
It is.
Hmm,
No, we have been in a. As soon as we were born into an abusive relationship.
very
Like
abusive.
and like when I, oh my gosh, I just feel like
It's like being in love with a prostitute
Oh God.
and not a prostitute that loves the money. She just loves the work she do. You will never. You might as well go somewhere else.
yeah, I don't know. I just feel like this is definitely
That
an
was funny.
abusive relationship.
Hmm.
I probably need to talk to someone about my Stockholm syndrome here. You know, it's interesting. Being a woman and being a black woman here in the United States. I mean, this I
Hmm.
will say this though. I feel like there is no better time in the United States for a I'm not gonna say a person of color, but a black person to be in America. It's been no better time to be black than right now in
We showed
America.
them that we united on the fifth.
Yeah, that
We
that did
we
happen.
showed.
The correction. There was the insurrection, and we had the correction.
Is that what that's being called? The
Well, you kept
correction.
saying it was correct. Like I'm gonna
You
call
was
it the
like the
correction.
correction, yeah. That's funny.
Yeah, they needed some correction. They needed some unlearn and relearn. Unlearn to beat on black people in front of other black people.
Mhm.
Relearn that these chairs will go upside your head. You know what I'm saying?
These chair earrings be taking me out. I done seen a few people with these chair earrings
Did
on.
you see? Did you see the? I think I sent it to you. Tosh. It's the chair decal that people putting on their cars.
Yeah, I saw that, but personally, I would not put that on my car because
I'm not
I
putting that on my car,
I am
but yeah.
still a little. I'm not gonna say afraid. I'm not afraid of anything, but as far as
You don't want to be inviting trouble.
exactly, especially going through what I'm going through, police officers getting put. Nah, I ain't messing with y'all.
Oh boy, that's funny.
Yeah, that is
Mm.
funny though. But it would have been even funnier if the decal, I mean, not to, and it was hard for me to watch the lady get hit over the head, but it would have been a little more funnier for me if it was the hand, the chair, and then like a person like underneath the chair. That would have been a little funnier. But maybe I need to see a therapist about that. You know, why do I find that funny?
Cause it was funny. I don't know. You just look. You just gotta. This is one of those things you gotta ask for forgiveness after you laugh. It is what it is.
Yeah,
You just gotta
That's
ask for
too
the
funny.
forgiveness on the back end. Like,
because
look,
I'd be hella mad somebody hit my granny over the head. But then I'd be like, Granny, what was you doing?
Why you kick your stuff off though? She kicked your stuff off though. See, first of all, Granny had no business out there putting her hands on anybody. She should have been sitting somewhere in the chair just watching. and stay her butt out. You too old anyway, you geriatric. Sit your butt down and drink your apple juice and take your pills. That's all you needed to be doing in that moment.
That spirit touched her. She felt herself.
Yeah, look what the spirit did in return. Look what happened. see how the devil worked? He get you in some ish and then turn around, look back and look at you. See?
And leave you high and dry.
Yeah.
Her head probably still hurt right now because that was hard.
She probably got a concussion.
Yeah, she probably do. Dang, man.
That lady need an MRI. Probably getting scared.
I need. Can someone tell me if that lady okay? Anybody know who this lady is? Is she?
They arrested her, I'm sure.
Dang, to get hit upside the head and arrested.
Hey, in public disturbance. I think she did get arrested. I think I saw a picture of her.
Dang.
But did they arrested all of them or just
they arrested
they
all
still
of
looking
them.
for some.
They arrested all of them. The guy who hit her on the head with the chair, he turned himself in.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, he turned himself in. Yeah.
But is he gonna get in trouble? I hope he don't get in trouble for that, because that's not fair.
They charged him with, like, I don't know, public disturbance or something. I can't remember what they charged him with, but
like a $500 fine or something.
I don't know. They got a GoFundMe for him. You know what I'm saying? Like, they coming together.
People were on his side. I mean, watching the video, it was like, I'm just gonna end all this ish. Like, I can understand like his state of mind swinging that chair. Like, it just reminded me like the Hulk. Like,
I like you said the other day, he was throwing hands for some other shit.
He was. He's
throwing hands for some other. That wasn't just about that bra. It was some other stuff.
Exactly. So that's why I feel like, I know me, I cannot get into any type of physical altercation because you're going to be getting hit for things that happened 9 years ago. See you. Lord. I'm not gonna.
Hold on. So are the things we hitting people for? It don't have nothing to do with
it.
They did.
It.
Oh no.
So Tashi, on that note, I must say you need to see a therapist. Because you ain't letting shit go.
So can I?
Ain't letting shit go like that. Yeah, holler at your insurance and go get you a set. Okay, that's all I'm saying.
Okay, you just finished part 2. Stay tuned for parts 3 and 4.